Hey, what's up, everybody? We want to welcome you back to another episode of Sip and Share.
Sip and share.
Sip and share. I said sip and share.
Sip and share.
Sip and share.
Babe, what was that?
Old. I don't know.
No, babe, it's a saying. It's a song. It's a theme for something.
It is certainly a song.
You know what? I think is Nickelodeon. I think that's what it is. You didn't watch cartoons? You know you did.
Yeah,
don't act like you did.
I just didn't hear that song.
Hey y'all, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment on our videos. Let us know what you think. If you have any video ideas, podcast ideas, let us know that too.
Let us know. Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho.
What are you drinking, man?
What am I drinking? It's clear.
Oh. It's cold.
Fluid.
It's cold.
It's cold.
It's clean. It's clear. It's cold. It's clean.
So
it's
it
water.
is water. But you know, everybody don't have clean water, so we are very blessed.
That is a fact.
We are very
blessed.
blessed.
That is a fact.
You know, I saw that they also sell water in a box now.
Oh, yeah?
It says box water is the best water or something like that.
Oh, really?
So I was going to look that up. I guess it's trying to reduce bottles or something.
Oh, okay.
Hey y'all, it's September 2nd. It is the second day of September. So that means it is the second day of Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. During the entire month of September, it has been dedicated to educating and providing prevention tools and resources for suicide. So we wanted to come to you today just to share a couple of highlight things regarding suicide prevention. Share with others, y'all. You don't know who needs this information.
Right.
So go ahead, get your papers and pens handy because we're going to give you some important information.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So I guess the first thing that I've ever been asked about suicide prevention is what are the warning signs, right? And when it comes to warning signs, there aren't just one. It's not like one particular thing per se.
Yep.
You know, and on top of that, the warning signs can be complete opposite.
Right.
Like someone who has suicidal ideation. That means they're thinking about harming themselves to the point of death. Someone who's doing that, they may be hungry and eat all the time, overeat, or they may not eat at all.
Yep.
They could be a impulsive shopper and just be buying all these things.
Right.
Or they could be giving their things away.
Yep. For me, I think you're right. So first of all, there are some standard or typical, more common warning signs is probably the better word. Some more common warning signs, but it is not a scientific thing. It's kind of like if this person's acting this way or if this person's doing that. And what I always tell folks is that if you know your people, if you know your friends, if you know your family, if you know those folks around you well enough, you'll be able to hopefully identify any behaviors that are not normal. If they're acting or conducting themselves outside of a normal basis, then it should be enough to at least kind of get your senses up a little bit. Obviously, no one is the same every day, all day, and we are all also able to have a different range of emotions. No one's happy all the time. No one's sad all the time. However, if you notice some completely erratic behaviors and they're going on for an extended period of time, then it may be a good opportunity for you to just check in with your people and say, hey, I noticed X. Is everything okay? And asking just that one time and just checking it off and go, well, I did ask. Sometimes that may not necessarily be good enough because sometimes you may say, hey, how are you doing? And they go, I'm fine. You may have to go, hey, listen, how are you really doing? Right. And look at that person eye to eye.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I was a part of a task force, and that was one of the things that we talked about was start the conversation, y'all. So getting back to the warning signs before I go into that, because I feel like I need to double back real quick. My husband is absolutely right. There are warning signs, there are risk factors, and you can go to specific sites to review all of those things. And I'm going to have them at the end of this video. But one of the main things is if you see anything abnormal, then that is a sign. But also not just abnormal in behavior, but abnormal in the events of their life. If you know someone is going through something particularly hard, then there could be heightened thoughts of wanting to harm themselves, right? So we have to be just careful with looking at the day-to-day behaviors of people,
Right.
and also looking at what is happening to those particular people.
Yep.
What was I was before that.
Task force.
Yeah, so I was on this task force because we saw there was a heightened amount of teenagers who were dying by suicide. And that particular category has steadily been increasing, right? And so we wanted to do something about it. And so we started this whole task force, and our campaign was start the conversation. And I know a lot of people find conversation to be hard.
Right.
But when it comes to the prevention of suicide, that is the first weapon. And I'm going to say this to you guys, and I know this question seems like, can't do it. You have to blatantly say, are you thinking of harming yourself? You look that person in the eye, and if you feel any inkling that you need to ask, don't avoid that question. You ask that question to the person.
That's right.
Now, if that question is answered with a yes, don't shy away. Well, we just gonna, okay, well, we're gonna pray about it, and everything gonna be all right. What you need me to do? Don't think that you have the burden to bear to provide everything for that person either.
Right.
There are resources out there for the person who is suffering from suicidal ideation, or the person who is helping. 988 988 is a number you can call, a number you can text, and you can get confidential help and support. So many people who are helping the person who is considering harming themselves, they don't know where to turn.
Sure.
That can be your first resource.
Yep.
You don't have to sit and wait until you find a resource. Just like we dial 911, you can dial 988, y'all, and they will direct you and give you steps and help you through that situation.
Yeah, I think it's important to reiterate, as you've mentioned, is that you don't have to necessarily know all the answers. You just have to know where to find them, right? As you mentioned earlier, we're not experts by any means. We don't expect anyone who's watching this or listening to this to be experts, but at the very least, you know where you can go get help from regarding getting the expertise that you need that can help the person that you're trying to help.
Yeah. And so I think we jumped the gun without kind of telling y'all the acronym, because we're basically telling you ACT. And ACT, A.C.T, I know I have a Southern accent, A.C.T is an acronym for first acknowledge. Acknowledge that there is abnormal behavior or moods or circumstances in that person's life. Care by communicating with that person, being there for that person, asking those hard questions, okay? Now, before we leave care, I do want to say this. For those that are with that particular person in a house, immediately hide, take out all of the things that could cause self-harm, whether it's a knife, medications, ropes, anything. Take it away. Put it away, out of their reach. Okay, that's another way that you care. You safeguard, just like we do for babies, you safeguard for that person. You don't leave them alone, okay? And then the last step is tell. So, as we were saying, you may not have all the answers, you may not be the resource, but you're going to acknowledge them, you're going to care for them by communicating and safeguarding things, and then you're going to tell.
Yep.
If you're a child and it's peer to peer, tell that teacher, that coach, that mentor, that parent, tell that adult,
Yep.
and let them take it from there.
Right.
If you're that parent, call that 988 number. Call those specialists, those therapists, right? Okay? So you get to the resource that you need. And again, I'm going to tell y'all right now, point blank, nobody on here can ever forget 988. And you can text it, you can call it 24/7. Okay?
Yep. Just remember, this is a hard thing sometimes for some people. It's a very heavy subject for some people. I think if you can remember the 988 number is your key takeaway. And then the last key takeaway is to act, actually act.
Yep, act. Before we close out today, I do want to mention that we do have a foundation. It is called theorionfoundation.org, and I'm going to put that at the end with the other resources. On our website, we have a Suicide Prevention Month resource. So it's not only about waiting until the issues arise.
Right.
So there's a complete calendar for the month of September where you can do activities that help us, have a healthy mental capacity, that help strengthen us to walk out in the world and face our days. So I would encourage you to not only just remember that number and keep it, but to also do the activities to try to prevent even getting to those points, y'all.
That's right.
Well, until next time, right?
Till next time. See you guys later next time on Sip and Share. Sip,
Sip,
and share. Let's go.